Hey Dave, welcome to Matter Day. I thought I'd try it. Today just works better with my schedule with everything going on. There's a leadership image I found when I did the podcast with Faith one time. It was wildflower versus wildfire. And I feel like a lot of emergencies and stuff that doesn't snowball well, although good things can snowball if human contribution is up, like the Project for Awesome or charity drives or some good news, something that skyrockets and gets better when more people use it. A lot of situations are more like wildfires, stuff that you can't control, stuff that's like a wild flame that spirals out of control. And I've got a really, really funny story for you for something that's not like crazy bad, but a better snowball effect. I like to call this story the door moment. When I was in college doing choir, there was a day when I sat on those couches that were right outside the double door, wood door entrance to the actual hall in the room where we do the rehearsals. One of the students sat down on one of the couches next to me and didn't say anything, and probably just assumed that the door was locked. I probably told you this story already, but basically this is a snowball effect of communication breakdown. So more and more students arrived, and all assumed that the door was locked. They saw all the students milling in the hallway, and they just assumed, and nobody had tried the door yet. And so I was like reading a book or doing something else, so I just sort of was ready for this to start whenever it started. And more students arrived, and more students arrived, and more students arrived. So when the actual choir teacher got to the location with the door and saw all of the students standing outside this small little hallway up the stairs right outside this door, she also assumed, groupthink, that the door was locked and proceeded to call security to get the door open. Some kind of campus security officer shows up and walks into the door, doesn't try the door, sticks the key in the door, and it is only through I think the turning of the key, or the fact the key didn't turn, or maybe the turning of it and then trying the door, that it was locked after the key turned, that we all had finally discovered that the door had been unlocked the whole time and no one had tried to even open it. There's a lot of good things that happen gradually, and I try to pay attention to those things because the goods and the truths often are not so obvious. They're very hard to see. Just from my perspective, in a situation where you don't want people to panic about something, it doesn't help to bring it up all of the time. Sometimes it's better just to make the change happen gradually without inciting panic. That's really, really hard, but because I guess we're so tied to social media and tied to the dopamine effect of media and wanting to be in the know and the fear of missing out from the news, which is something I don't feel anymore. I do not feel, I want to pay attention and be aware of it, but I don't feel the need to feel like I'm missing out on all of the noise that's happening and have to be in the know for every single thing. That's just impossible. There's a question in one of my journal entries recently that mentioned something along the lines of, at what point does change become a priority over growth? Like, it's important to grow, but when does grow mean change? Like, what point is knowledge enough? At what point is the people and your friends enough? Because you can continuously gain knowledge, I feel like, forever and never reach a kind of perfect moment for all that, or whatever is trying to be gained. At some point, like, something doesn't have to grow anymore, and it has to, like, have a relationship with the reality and the change that's being sought to make. So I've just been thinking about that, like, in terms of community, in terms of, like, resources. At what point, right, do you stop gathering things and stuff and start using the stuff that you have to create things or, like, value or of some kind? I've just been thinking about and pondering that as well. Yeah. So thanks for that thought exercise and spending some time with me on this Matter Day. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the first day of Pizzamas, which is Monday. Gonna be a fun time, up to some things.